Sometimes you just need some good music to listen to and a nice warm fire to just clear your mind, relax, take it easy, but of course, since we know who we're playing as, that's not really a luxury we can afford. So, it's time for us to get back to business. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthew back with you here in Overall Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. It is year 2, day 66 for EDSS and the Realm Reborn, and last time we completed the 4th of the Hildebrand Mysteries over in Oda, and that completed all the content that we wanted to cover for patch 2.4. We're now going to start on the last patch for Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn that was added, I believe it was in January. I believe it was just after the start of the new year that patch 2.5 was introduced. So, to get started on that, we're going to start by visiting the 2 side dungeons that patch 2.5 possesses. And we're actually going to start by making things hard on ourselves. And when I say hard, I mean hard. Let's speak with Lorianne to take on the challenge entitled For Keep's Sake. Lorianne looks at you with an appraising eye. A wayfarer like yourself must be privy to all manner of tales, yes? So tell me, what do you know of the adventurers who purged the cultists from the ruins of Amdapor Keep? Well, if you must know... What? It was you who did the deed? And then you were just the person I have been seeking. There is a man I would have you lend your ear to, a hero known as Adestan. He dwells in Camp Tranquil, from where he surveys Twelveswood. Of late he has sensed dark stirrings in Amdapor Keep, and would speak with the one who has braved the ruins already. But I shall put no more words in Brother Adestan's mouth. Pray attend him in the South Shard. If you give him my name as proof of your intent, he will not withhold a single detail of what he has observed. Well, let's hope you're right about that. So yes, our next destination is Camp Tranquil in the South Shroud. It's a place we've been to a few times before. Most notably, in order to speak with the Wood Whaler Landonell, former member of the Company of Heroes, who gave us one of the many trials that we needed to take on in order to earn the passage to face Titan. So, yeah, there's Landonell as he stands overwatch here at Camp Tranquil, but of course it's not him we want to speak to, it's Adestan. Let's see what he has to say. Yes, I'm Adestan, one ever listening to the Shroud. Pray tell, why have you sought me out? Well, the young lady gave me your name, that's what happened. You come at Lorianne's urging. Good heavens, the elementals smile upon me, sending one of the brave souls who smote the cultists within Amdapor Keep. Well met, my friend. I'm here at Haru Sana's behest to investigate the keep. You are here because of my findings. Terrible things fester within those ruins and someone must destroy them. That probably explains why there's thunder and lightning in the skies today. Yes, even though the Lavs of Dolabud and their dealings of void sense plague us no longer, the fell presence hanging over the place grows stronger by the day. Wood Whalers ventured into the keep to find the cults. Their reports were chilling. Someone has completed the cultist rituals and summoned the most ghastly of void scent. Over them reigns a leader, peerless in might and malice. You must fell this void scent lord, and so dispel the foulness hanging over the ruins. Maxine guards the gates of Amdapor Keep. I shall alert her to your coming. Now go, my friend, and may the elementals guide you to victory. And even a bow to boot. Well, thank you very much for that. In fact, I will do so much as to return the favor myself. So now, yeah, we've been to Amdapor Keep before. In fact, it was the first hard mode dungeon that we had to take on in year 2. Yeah, we are very familiar with Amdapor Keep. It was taken on, actually, just on day 2 here in the second year of our Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Because we had to come here to get an Amdapor glyph as part of the efforts to give Edie his relic weapon, the Gaybolg Lance. And so now we have to return there because, yes, more evil broodings are afoot. So, we have to speak with our good friend Maxine the Wood Whaler in order to get ourselves access to Amdapor Keep for this new version. Because this is a dungeon we've been to before and are revisiting, this means we are taking on this place again. It's a hard mode dungeon, so let's speak with Maxine. What brings you back to this place, tainted place, adventurer? Ah, so you are the one who has answered Brother Addison's call to enter the ruins. I warn you though, the keep has never been more perilous. The evil that dwells within has warped the forest life, turning woodland animals to brutish beasts. The place is foul! Our only hope is to slay the void sent at the heart of the castle. If we do not, well, I pray that the elementals guide your way through the keep, adventurer, and your victory brings peace to the forest. And so now, Amdapor Keep hard mode is available to us. So let's go ahead and get it activated. So here we go. Yeah, this is the best reward you can get in a single dungeon without relying on a duty roulette. Is 100 elegant tomestones of soldiery and 40 elegant tomestones of poetics. It was the poetics that we used to purchase the body armor that Edie is currently wearing. So we'll make our way into Amdapor Keep after this. So be back in a moment and we'll make our way there. And so now we have returned after almost actually would be more than 3 months, but we have returned to our first patch 2.1 dungeon, Amdapor Keep, now on hard mode, where myself and 3 others will take this place on, including what appears to be a brother, actually in this case it will be a sister dragoon. And yeah, they are definitely more powerful than I am. But hey, it's comforting to know that we have a really powerful dragoon in our party, a really powerful tank to lead us. Hopefully we'll do alright. So here we go. So for Amdapor Keep hard, a lot of what you'll see is stuff that is definitely going to be unique. We're not taking the same path as we did before. Like for starters, this Ochu here blocking the path that we're taking next, we have to kill it in order to advance. But it's going to come with this little known set of ads called leaf miners, and so those also have to be taken care of along with the Ochu. Of course, the Ochu is the main threat. Once you eliminate the Ochu, there will be no more leaf miners that come out onto the field of battle. So take that into consideration when you're coming here. Yeah, there were more that spawned in time, but we can go ahead and just close it. Because the leaf miners aren't all that powerful. They're easily defeatable. So we'll just hit the 3 times with Ring of Thorns, and then just focus on this last Condor. We'll get rid of them and be on our way. Yeah, this is the point where you're really going to start to see tanks, especially warriors, the guys with the axes, the enhanced versions of the Marauders, that they have over 10,000 HP when they come into a place like this. And not surprisingly, you're going to see quite a bit of pulling of small groups in order to make a huge one. But with 2 Dragoons, that might not necessarily be a good idea, no matter how overpowered my sister Dragoon is. No matter how overpowered my sister Dragoon is, this may not necessarily be the wisest strategy. If they were melee, or rather if they were ranged DPS, or a mage, then it would definitely be a good idea. So we'll see how this goes. If our healer does a good enough job, then we won't be so concerned. But having 3 party members all fighting close range in what is unquestionably the most difficult side dungeon that there is, it will certainly not be an easy run. I'm close to getting an opportunity again to make use of my Dragonfire dive. Not there yet. We won't waste it on this Grey Wolf here. And you might have noticed that these vines have been whacking a bit. You can take damage from them and take status samples if they whack you. So be careful on the timing and pass when it's safe. Alright, continuing on. Our tank brings everyone together. And as you can see, we got another Ochu to deal with. And you know what that means? That means we have to come over here and start contending with this Ochu. Definitely going through blood for blood, my strength enhancer very quickly. It seems to be cycling through very fast. I don't know, maybe it's just my eyes or something, I don't know. We do know that as long as this O2 is in the way, we can't go any further. So we'll do the best we can to eliminate it as quickly as possible. Okay, yeah, there's the spawning of relief miners in the back. I was wondering when they were going to show up because I hadn't seen any appear yet, but they are out there now. Right, he's out. Now for the Megalotragus. And they're gone. Now let's use Ring of Thorns to eliminate the leaf miners. And there they go. And now it's your turn, Grey Wolves. There are only 2 of you, but still you must be defeated nonetheless. Nice use of Dragonfire Dive, and whoa, when did another leaf miner spawn? I have to admit, I wasn't expecting that. Nonetheless, we're almost clear with this area. And so that wolf is down, so onward we go. So there are no more enemies to contend with before we get to the first mini-boss. Yeah, it's only taken us about 5 minutes to get to him. But let me assure you, this is where the difficulty will really ramp up to exponential levels. This battle against the first mini-boss Anchag is the hardest one here. Yeah, the tank is mentioning if you get a mark above your head, hide behind a statue, because this one, they intentionally made it harder so that if you're someone like me who's a melee DPS, you need to use your close-in perspective. You need this in order to see when your mark gets shown, as it has done on my sister dragon, because that mark is actually very small by comparison to a lot of other marks as well. So once it is safe, you no longer have to be worrying about hiding behind the statue. You can advance. You can get out of there. So it's your job, as always, to avoid all AoE. And since you are going to be in constant danger and worry for your own life, you need to make sure that if you see the mark above your head, find one of the statues to hide behind. There are only 4 of them, so use them wisely. Okay, now it's over the tank's head, so he has no choice but to run over to a statue over there. As long as that mark is over your head, Anchag will use that blue thunderbolt to hit you. And it could very likely disable the statue that is available to you. Because it also takes damage. If it gets knocked out, that leaves you with 1 less place to hide. So now we have 2 statues that have been taken out. So the other 2 are on the back side of this particular arena. So, the main priority is, of course, keep your attention close in and above your head at all times. Because if that glowing red mark appears above your head, you better make a break for it, or else you will die. Because that blue thunderbolt, as long as it stays on you, it will drain your HP very quickly and it will kill you very fast. Look out. Oh, we stun him? I think we did. Anyway, it looks like my sister Dragoon was the one that had to move behind cover again. But look, yeah, that statue got spared this time around. We won't be so lucky next time. Yeah, then sometimes the statue will stay upright, sometimes it won't. That's not something you really can predict in terms of the longevity of the statue. So it's something you definitely have to take into consideration. Okay, it's on me. Now I have to run behind the statue here. And I have to be ready, because once it's gone away, I have to now run to the next statue before I get killed, but I'm not going to make it. Because that was simply up for way too long. And there's no way I could have survived that attack. So, yeah, you've seen what happens if a statue gets spared for a moment. But we got the victory. That is the most difficult fight here. Once you get past that, the rest is no problem. But yeah, that fight is the most mechanically inclined fight you have to deal with here. Ooh, armor for myself. Nice. Well, I will certainly take it. But yeah, once that statue no longer provides you cover, you've got to get somewhere else and hope that you live. Because especially if that problem goes against your healer, oh, you're so screwed. So as you see, we now have more bulls in play. And not surprisingly, they will have their wide array of devastating abilities, including Bad Breath. So watch out for it. There's also enemies like the Foxgloves, the big giant carnivorous plant that's also got to be taken into consideration. And also ruined Wamuras. We've actually seen those back at the lost city of Amdapor. They were actually needed in order to lure the second mini-boss there into battle. Into the air, Dragonfire dive, and then just a basic jump. And we'll keep plugging away on these Wamuras. And away we go again on this guy. And it doesn't take much to get through here. Your main concern is the boss. Now we're going to start seeing evil mushrooms being brought into the fold. I'm going to make a run for this treasure chest real quick though. Alright, now that we have, you can see now the Ochus are replaced with Treants. They basically serve the same purpose as the Ochus did. Their main priority is to block your path, and the only way that is no longer blocked is to kill the Treants, in this instance, instead of the Ochus. But these things have more AoE to offer, so that is something you have to take into consideration when you do this fight. Acorn Bomb and Arboreal Storm are the two main causes of concern, if you will. And so whenever you see those, get out of the way. And unlike the Ochu, you may have noticed that no Leaf Miners are spawning. Instead, it is Wabura Kampas that are spawning. And they are more bountiful than the Leaf Miners were when dealing with the Ochus. Alright, so now on to the Wamura Kampas. They are dying quickly, and that's always good. And now it's your turn, Lord Stool. Yeah, I can so imagine someone like Nintendo Capri Sun making a dirty joke on that name, Lord Stool. Oh, another one spawns last minute. Well, I guess I'll have to take care of you too. But yeah, I could so see him making a joke on the name of that enemy. Yeah, Nintendo Capri Sun and his iconic toilet humor. Alright, more enemies to take on. It looks like we're gonna pull them. We're gonna pull them across this bridge of roots. And right into the arms of a waiting Morbol. Good thing we have a Dragon Fire Dive to hit them all. That was very helpful. Ooh, look out for the bad breath. And so far so good. Let's keep it going. We're doing a really good job so far of dealing with these enemies. So far they have not given us much issue. And our tank's been doing a really good job of pulling them. He knows just what to pull, how much, considering that there are 2 Dragoons in the party. And it's all about knowing what your characters, what your fellow party members, what their characters' strengths and weaknesses are. And in some instances, it's always a good idea to take that into consideration, because with something like a mage or a black mage or a bard, you can pull a lot more. With melee warriors like dragoons and monks, you will not be able to pull as much. So now we have to go through another maze of live vines that will smack down on us if we get too close. I'm going to go down the middle as a safety precaution, and we'll take on our next treants. And away we go. And like before, he will spawn Wamura Kampas. sorry if my voice is a little loud, but I'm recording this on a day that I came back from a volunteer convention, which took place this past weekend as of the day I'm recording this in Toronto. It was actually my 10th year in a row to attend this convention. I always enjoy attending it because of all the fellow volunteers you get to meet and get to see everything that we've done, as well as what they've done. And our group actually won an award for our volunteer work, so I'm very satisfied about that. So, on to our second mini-boss. And no, you were not reading this wrong. This is the Boogeyman. I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get ya! So, with the Boogeyman, this guy is a little trickier. You can see there are a lot of corpses on the field here in this fight against the Boogeyman, and they actually will be brought into play as this fight goes along. This is something you need to take into consideration. And also, from time to time, the Boogeyman will vanish, and the only way to bring him back is to attack this luminescence ball. Only once it is completely destroyed will the Boogeyman no longer be invisible. But all the time, he will still continue to attack you. In fact, you can actually see his silhouette, as it were. But there is a delay on the time that you destroyed the luminescence to the time that the Boogeyman reappears. So, another one of those things to take into consideration. In fact, I'm going to take it on myself to accelerate the fight a bit by using the limit break. It's a good idea because it already was fully charged. Now, I mentioned that corpses were going to be reanimated. Here's the first instance. Gotta take care of these blood moon sacrifices, or else they are going to definitely put a wrench in your plans. One is gone. Okay. Boogeyman disappeared again. Oh, actually, no. In this instance, once he gets low on health, then he brings out a clone. He actually sacrifices half of his health to bring out his clone, and then the two Boogeymen share the health that the original Boogeyman had left. So while they're taking on the second set of Blood Moon sacrifices, we have to we once again have to focus on getting that situation dealt with the luminescence orb. Yeah, that move you just saw there, that can likely be attributed to me because of the fact that the Blood Moon Martyr that was in play actually used a suicide move, a kamikaze move, that caused a bit of damage on all of us and left us all with a debuff. So yeah, it is something to worry about, but it's not devastating. So, we now return to the Boogeyman, for both of them in this instance, because there's now two of them on the field. But yeah, when the Boogeyman splits into two beings, he will then always go back to being invisible. So this first Boogeyman is about to go out. Now let's go after his friend. Okay, he is hiding. So we gotta go after the luminescence orb. Once it's destroyed, we now wait on delay for the second Boogeyman's arrival. You can only hit him once he is out of his shadow. So far we're doing pretty good. And even though the Boogeyman has two permanent buffs on all of his stats for the rest of this fight, we should have this without any more trouble. Yeah, no ripples of gloom will stop us. We've cleared our second mini-boss. Alright. Now for something a little more unique. Let's play for everything here. Alright. When we go into the ethereal flow, we are no longer essentially within the main portion of the keep. We are now actually going into the depths of Amdapor Keep. We have to actually go and approach this fell orb, and when we do, we are now on the clock. Because we now have to defeat all these enemies here. If we don't, then we are going to get killed. There is a time limit of 3 minutes to kill all the enemies that will show up, starting with this set of 6 void serfs. They all have to be destroyed. And then once they go, the next thing is this trio here. 2 fault finders and their master, Skane's mate. Now you saw the warning sign that went up. Here's something else you need to know about this. It is not a total loss if you do not save yourself within the 3 minutes. If you do not clear this within the 3-minute time period, the demon walls that are closing in, they will kill you. They will destroy everyone in the party, but you do not have to start all over again from the beginning. You'll get a new set of 3 minutes to pick up where you left off to finish off what's left, and it just keeps repeating like that. So essentially, you have infinite time to do this. You have infinite time to clear all these enemies, no matter how many times you wipe. I guess the only thing that would be considered a restraint against you would be the time limit to complete the main dungeon itself. As you can see, we have 70 minutes left in total. And so essentially, our time limit would be considered 70 minutes left. But then, of course, there's still the matter of the main boss. We haven't reached him yet. So now the Gnesic Gargoyle is our next target. This guy's a bit tricky because he has a lot of HP. Plus, in addition to that, Void Serfs will now start to be reintroduced to the field. That can make things a bit of a nightmare for you. Alright, jump into the air, Dragonfire dive. Alright, once he's gone, we can now start spamming through the thorns again. And then, this is the last set. 2 Blood Lappers. These are the last 2 enemies you have to fight. And so far, given how we're doing, I would say that we are safe. Yeah, 30 seconds to crash down, but we're doing a really good job of clearing out these 2 enemies. If the heater had been eliminated, then I would say that we would pretty much be in a no-win situation, but it looks like we're going to be just fine. Yep, we don't get another warning because we have cleared this area. So now, that is what we had to do as far as enemies are concerned for this 3rd part. We have now reached the boss. And he comes in with the same boss duel music as we heard in the hard mode of Tom Tower Deepcroft. So yeah, this is our freak of nature right here. A scary guy with a sickle. In fact, his feet are sickles too. And he even comes with a scary laugh to boot. Alright, here we go. Taking on Ferdiad here in this final challenge for the main boss of Amdapor Keep hard mode. And we're off and running. So, much like many bosses by this point, he will have special tricks that you will have to contend with over the course of the battle. The objective, of course, is to kill the guy. But there's also going to be some other things that you will have to kill too, and some of them are on time limits. You'll see why once we reach a certain point. When he goes for Wild Card and brings out some ads, you have to clear them out because his ring of AoE is going to grow and expand. And if you do not kill his 3 ads in time, then the ring will expand to the entire platform and you cannot dodge it. And it'll either cause a great deal of damage against you or it will kill you outright. So be careful about that. That's not the only thing he can do. He has a few more tricks up his sleeve. Yeah, this guy bills himself as an entertainer. In fact, his ability is even called Just as Weak. When separations come out in the field, it will immobilize a party member because they will be engulfed by the separation, and you need to save them before they take some serious damage. So we're doing pretty good, I would say. But of course, always be wary because now we have Squeaking AoE coming into play. Plus, there are death sights now on the field. Those were seen on the hard mode of Hawk Manor against the second mini-boss. We had to deal with those, and holy cow, how did I end up taking so much damage? I do not know how I took that much damage, and I prefer not to know. Okay, once again, separation play. We got to save our tank from taking the big damage. So, back on it. Yeah, whenever you see Jester's Reap, that means someone has been immobilized after being engulfed by a separation, and you must deal with it before you can continue on with your attack if you want to ensure the safety and well-being of your party. Alright, once... Okay, well, the separation is in effect again. This time it is me who has been engulfed. So I'm now at the mercy of that. Now we have to go after the Troubadour in order to get him killed, for the entire room is full of AoE. Thankfully, we saved ourselves just in time. And we can go back to what we were doing. Back on course and hopefully getting ourselves to a victory in our first attempt here at hard mode of Amdapor Keep. I believe there is one more thing that he still has left waiting for us. Oh, okay, I've been engulfed again by another separation, but this one's a little different. This cankerous Gobei, it has a little more HP than the separation does. But it still has to be destroyed before you take a scythe to the face. And beware of the oncoming AoE, yeah, now it's starting to go checkerboard pattern. You know, this is where it's really going to start letting it all hang out. I'm shocked that my Sister Dragoon survived that. Okay, going for the limit break here. Let's hope I can get it off. We did, and we pretty much have what he had left. And continue. Yeah, it won't be much longer until Mr. Ferdiad is put out of commission. And he sends a black wind my way, but it won't matter much at this point. Ooh, but look out for those death sights, they're always spinning. In fact, we won't even bother dealing with the cantankerous Gobei, because we got our win. Yeah, Ferdiad was so low on health that we didn't need to worry about attacking the cankerous Gobei. So, we got our win. Always good to get a hard mode victory in a dungeon such as this, especially when you can do it with a brother or sister Dragoon. So, that will do it for this place. Let's go ahead and play for what we have left here. A 1. Yeah, like I'm really gonna win with a 1. And so, it's time for us to go, but of course, I'll take a courteous bow to my sister Dragoon. Yeah, even Lalafels can make kick-ass Dragoons too. So, let's get out of here. Time to watch a little cutscene. Suddenly sounds quite maniacal, doesn't it? And so, well, we know that the danger is far from done in there. So let's warp back to Camp Tranquil to report to Addiston on our good news. I'm sure he'll be happy to know that we earned the victory. Although if the end scene was any indication, it doesn't seem like we got it in full. Alright, Addiston, let's go ahead and talk to you to complete the challenge. I'm glad to see you unharmed, my friend. By Maxine's report, the people of the Trollswood owe you many thanks for vanquishing the Void-Sent Lord. Yet its death does leave a question. Who summoned the fiends if not the Lambs of Dolomud? My friend, saw you aught within those sinister walls that might provide the answer? Well, maybe we can give you an answer there. Not another living soul, you say? How curious. Could it be that the summoner quit the keep, then? Yes. Unless... In your last venture inside, you came upon cultists attempting to summon Void-Sent. This time did you perchance see their remains upon the ground? How did you know? Then I know the truth of it. 'Twas no living soul who brought the void scent upon us. No, it was the blood of the lambs of Dalamud, the very same that stains the ground. The dark sigils drawn by the cultists must have been finished but for a sacrifice. How ironic that their own blood should bring the rites to completion. It was mere coincidence, nothing more. No sinister forces here conspired, no mortals eagerly beckoned void scent into our realm. We may put this matter to rest. Save for the void scent lord at the heart of the keep. I had assumed it was an unthinking brute, but from what you said of its manner, mayhap it had cunning aplenty. Well, it certainly did. Indeed, this fiend could have beguiled the lambs of Dalamud into all of this. If dark forces are able to so lead mortals, then grim days lie ahead of us. But such ill musings do not suit your victory. I shall enjoy this respite from danger, as I hope you shall too. Go well and rest assured that Harun Senna will learn of your valor this day. And for those of you not familiar, Arun Senna is actually the youngest sibling and brother of the elder seed seer of Gridania, Kane Senna. Just for those of you who weren't aware. In fact, he actually plays a crucial role in the journey to become the elevated warrior class of the Conjurer, which is the White Mage. So, I think with all that taken care of, and hey, there's another Lalafell Dragoon standing next to me. I mean, what better way to complete this day, knowing that we had the assistance of a sister Dragoon in Amdapor Keep's hard mode too. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will take on the second of the side dungeons for patch 2.5. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novara Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.